Peace and bright blessings, guys. It's the Queen of Spades coming at you. Where my royals at? Gang, gang, gang. Y'all come through, my like minds. I want to ask and thank my, enlightened ancestors, my spirit guides, my guardian angels, and all the deities that surround me and my family in our life at home and abroad and protect us from seen and unseen danger day in and day out. And I ask them to once again look over this space that we're in at this moment in time and protect this space and surround it with divine love and light as well, so that we all can be in a space of peace and comfort and security and able to unwind and just be ourselves. um I like to thank you guys for joining me. I like to thank those that enjoy watching my videos and have actually found me off of YouTube and have come to me for client work. So I like to say thank you to all of those who support the Queen of Spades. And I like to say thank you to my royals who have not worked with me yet, but enjoy watching my content. Thank you, honeys. I appreciate that. My royal gang, gang, gang. Okay, so let's get into part three of, different relationship styles. So I apologize, guys. I had to press pause and plug up my laptop before it died. But we're back now. Okay, so in part three, I wanted to, further discuss what I had gotten into in part one and two, which was, we're talking about monogamy versus, polyamory versus polygamy versus polyandry. And I'm sure there's millions of other different types of relationship statuses out there that I probably am not even aware of, but those are just a few of them that I know of and am aware of. So let's get into it. You have any comments or questions, comment down below. Um, and hopefully I can answer your question or your comments to the best of my abilities. Gang, gang, gang. Okay, so I always wanted to say gang, gang, gang. I see other people saying it. And I was like, I got a gang. But anyways, but we all do, to be honest. We have, angels that come onto this earth with us, when we're born. They follow us, you know, throughout our lives actually. So with me knowing that, I know that we're never alone. We're never alone, and we're never without having help and assistance from our angels and from our guides and from our enlightened ancestors. So, and then there's always spirits that see us and, just become intrigued with us and want to, assist us in personal matters in our lives throughout our lives. So, we're never really alone. And then there's always like minded people. Your vibe always attracts your tribe. So, I'm just happy to be here and sharing this space with you guys, and thankful for any questions or comments you put down below. And like I said, I try to answer them to the best of my ability. But this this poly lifestyle that I experienced, it was like, to be honest, it was like a situation gone wrong. And I say that because this actually would have been like a really beautiful union. This would have been a very beautiful connection, but no use in crying over spilled milk. It is what it is. And the reason why it didn't turn out to be the union that it was supposed to be is because, from, my partner at the time, there was lots of lies, manipulation, and deception. and there was breadcrumbing, and there was you know um gaslighting and lots of narcissistic tendencies. And I had experienced, these same things, but to a worser level, like to a worser extent, a more abusive extent with, my children's father. And so to experience this again, you know, but it wasn't exactly the same. It was like he had narcissistic tendencies, but he was much better off as a person and as a man than my children's biological father, my ex-husband. So it's like through this situation, I was able to even go back and revisit some of the things that my children's father had done and the ways that he had acted. I was able to see through to them clearly. His spirit assisted me in that. I was able to gain more understanding and clarity of that situation and why that happened like it did, and its connection to this situation um, in the recent past that I experienced. And basically, just thinking to myself a lot over time, like, why did this situation even come up? Like, how is it that I was even able to attract, a person with narcissistic tendencies again? These different things would, these different thoughts would be like pouring into my mind, from time to time, just trying to gain some clarity and understanding. It's like I had so many different questions, so many different thoughts, and nobody could answer them but spirit. So it's like at some point I had to realize, like, okay, yes, you definitely love and care for this person. Feel like in their own way they love you too, but they are not the most advanced or comfortable with being able to receive it or express it. Like the receiving part, they got it. They got it on lock, but they could not give it back. They couldn't express it. They couldn't return it back. And so it's like you gotta like if you consider yourself a bank account and it's constantly being withdrawn from, but nobody ever replaces deposits back in there. Well, then at some point they're gonna close the bank account down because it's no good to itself or anybody else at that point. And it's like the goal was to make you think that you were receiving, a lot, but I would always have it in the back of my mind, like, and I'm not talking about monetary gifts or anything like that. I'm talking about energetically, because your energy is give me a minute, I'm still tipsy. Your energy is currency. Your frequency is currency. So in knowing that, then you got to be like you got to guard it a little bit. You got to be protective of it. And once you see that something is just simply not working out the way that like you envisioned or planned for it to, at some point you got to make a stand. And it's like throughout the course of that relationship, like sometimes, you know, um, my partner at the time, he would make these comments like, why don't you leave your husband and divorce me? Why don't you, you know, um, just be with me? Why don't, I was like, that's very interesting. I don't know where this is coming from, because if we're in a poly situation, then we have to respect each other's, partners. And, this partner was here before you. So this partner and I, together decided to open up this marriage. And so that so that it could be a more open or poly situation. And I'd say, well, I don't know why you said that, but I do not plan to leave my husband. And I was like, and I don't think that you should even suggest that unless you're willing to leave all of your partners, because there's multiple partners that he has. And my thing is, if you're gonna suggest that to me, then you must be willing to do the same thing, because you can't expect of me what you can't do yourself. That's just not gonna do. So I brought it up like that, and this person's like, well, I was just playing with you. Okay. But then it continued on. This person continued to ask this of me, at least a few more times. And I said, the last time I said, are you serious about that? Because you keep bringing this up. Like, are you saying that you really want us to be in a situation to ourselves? What happens to everyone else? Like, we're not in a monogamous situation. We're, once again, in a poly situation. So all partners need to be respected, and nobody should have to worry about if they're going to be replaced or removed because somebody else is coming in a poly situation. So I didn't get that. And at some point in our last conversation, I brought it up to him and I said, um, it just seems like you don't really know what you want. It seems like you don't know if you want to be poly or not. You've got all of these women, but you're not really sure how to move in this situation because you keep approaching me about being strictly to you. But you have all these other partners. Do they know you want to be strictly to me? I highly doubt that they know that you want to be strictly to me. And I highly doubt that they know that you have brought this proposition to me, because they would not be okay with that. And this person turned around like, what did they? He said, he was like, well, I have never said that to you. I've never said that, I wanted you to leave your husband. And I'm like, really? Like, for a minute, I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. Like, wait a minute, did I just imagine all this stuff happening? Like, it was just crazy. Like, and I was like, this is some weird stuff. Like, everything that I approached him on, he either never said it or he didn't remember saying it. And I'm like, what are you, losing your mind? You becoming senile? Because I don't know what's going on here. Like, I loved him unconditionally. I loved him genuinely. And as I love all my partners, if you become a partner of mine, then that means that we were able to connect in a way where there's mutual love and respect there. And that's how it's always going to be. And I'm like, my husband hasn't even done anything to me for me to want to just out the blue try to divorce him. So why would you even suggest something like this? It just was amazing to me to see that. And then towards the end of the conversation, this person was kind of like, they could be so sweet. But like, for us, when it was really good, it was really good. But then when it was really bad, it was really bad. This person was like Jekyll and Hyde. And they were like, well, I don't know what you got in your mind, but I'm not ever changing. I'm gonna always be the same. You know, um, my women, they basically know, like, you know, if they have an issue with me not spending enough time with them, then you just kind of wait until I get to you. And I was like, really? Well, that's not going to do for me. Unfortunately, I don't give a damn who you are or how many partners you have or have had all your life. This is that one that will not tolerate that type of stuff, because I don't do my partners like that. I don't say, oh, well, you just hang there in the balance until whenever I get to you. Like, you good. Like, I don't do that. So, do you really think I'm going to let you do that to me? Totally disillusioned. So, what I found out is that this person had never really had someone to step to them like this and be like, listen, I don't care who you are and what you got. At the end of the day, you will learn to treat me with respect, sir, because I don't do nothing but treat you with respect and anyone else in this world. And when I don't receive that back, in fact, when I receive the opposite back, then I get real angry and I start to look into how I can handle that situation. First, I go to spirit actually and consult with spirit and say, should I fuck this person up? Because they really just try to come for me. Sometimes spirit will be like, yes, you can do something. And I'll be like, can I do this? They'd be like, no, you can't. I'll be like, okay. But I found out also to add insult to injury over time that when this person would come to me talking about like their other partners, it would sometimes be talks about like an argument that they had, and I would try to deliberate in a way where I wouldn't be more to his side or the partner's side. It'd be like, okay, now see, you've got to do better in this. And see, they may have to do better with this. And if you do this, this could possibly bring more closeness. Start courting again. Start the relationship totally brand new, totally fresh. And that way, once you start courting, your partner again, now you're getting to know each other. Maybe you both have outgrown each other, and maybe you just need to be reacquainted with each other. This is the time for y'all to have conversations and start recording each other, recording, you know, get into a courtship again with your partner. Start taking her out to dinner, start, just living life and being happy with each other again, like it's fresh, like it's brand new. And I guarantee you that will rekindle the fire, between the two of you. And a lot of these ideas I would bring to him, and he'd be like, that's a great idea, thank you. And then there'd be those conversations where he's like, I'm not really attracted to this woman. She keeps pushing up on me. She's asking me like, when are we gonna have a chance to get together and get to know each other and start a relationship? And I'm just not attracted to her. She's not my type. And if she really wants to be intimate with me, I would at least be intimate with her. But if I'm intimate with her, then that kind of means that I have to take care of her in a sense. I'm like, well, this is your life too. Like you have the choice whether you want to get with someone or not. Like if you're saying this person is not your type, they're not your type. Like it's nothing to obsess over really, because he had brought it up maybe like 3 times that this woman was not his type, but he had known her for a while. She lived around, his family and things like that. Like, around the corner from his daughter or something like that. And he made it very clear, like, I'm not really interested. I'm not really attracted, this, that, and the other. Like, and I was like, why does he keep bringing this up? If you're not attracted, you're just not attracted to somebody. I don't understand why this has to even keep being a conversation. Each time I was very supportive, like, well, it's ultimately up to you. Why not give her a chance? You may find a great partner in her. Who knows? He's like, no, I'll pass because the attraction's not there. I don't like having to avoid people if I'm not really attracted to them and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, then it's settled. Like, just don't deal with her then. Like, it's that easy. Like, you know. So then only for him to come back to me in another conversation, the last conversation we actually had about that particular individual. And he was like, he was like, I mean, it was really crazy. Let me just say, like, there was conversations where he was like, this person came to see me, at one of my lectures or whatever the case may be. I told her to go and pick up this other guy that I know from the airport so that they could be sitting together so it wouldn't look like, she was with me or, me and her were together. And I'm like, okay, you know. Like, it was just really weird because, once again, we're poly. So you don't have to do all that. That's stuff folks do in monogamy situations when they want to, not be known that they're with someone or whatever the case may be. I've seen it done. But it's like you don't have to do that in a poly situation. So it was like very confusing to me. And then after that conversation, I'm like, you went through all of that so she wouldn't look like she was with you. Um, we go through that conversation, we get to the very last conversation about her, and he's like, he's like, remember, excuse me, he's like, remember the girl, that I told you about that I wasn't really attracted to, and you know, was wasn't really interested in a relationship with. Now, before he even came to me in this conversation, Spirit had already told me, he gonna end up getting with that girl. I know he's saying to you like he's not really interested, and he's not really attracted. He's not interested in a relationship with her, but he's probably gonna end up getting with that person. But I'm like, we're in a poly situation, so why lie about things like that? Like, it's a pet peeve of mine for people, because I've experienced it, like for people to just lie unnecessarily about things. Like, if you'll lie about little things, you'll lie about big things too. So it just, excuse me, it just was like crazy to me, why he had to go through all of that. If maybe he didn't like the woman at first, and then maybe an attraction grew over time. Or because he spent so much detail, he had never done this about anybody else. He spent so much time in detail describing the fact that he wasn't interested, he wasn't attracted. She had a country ghetto accent and he just couldn't tolerate it. All these different things. And I'm like, yeah, but she may be beautiful on the inside. Like, give her a chance. He's like, no, I can't, because, then I'd have to take care of her and this, that, and the other. And you go from that to bringing this conversation to me, and you're like, yeah, remember the person, remember this person? I'm like, yeah, the one you said you weren't attracted to, and the one, you said you can't see yourself getting a relationship with, that one. Yeah. He's like, yeah, yeah, that her, yeah. Well, she's one of my women now, and I just wanted to let you know that. And she asked how you're doing all the time. She likes you. She's like, I like Medina, and I'm like, okay. you know he's like, she just kept chasing me. She just kept throwing it at me, and then finally, I gave in, because I realized she actually chases me like, I like for women to do. I was like, well, then I would say that this is a blessed union. Then, if you've found exactly what you've been looking for, then I think that that's wonderful, because I'm not a woman that chases. And I've made that very plain. I never will be a woman that chases you. So if that's what you're looking for, then you got it now. So that's good. Congratulations to you both. And I wish you both happiness and bliss and success. And he's like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. But then if, like, he saw someone like my page, like something on my page too much, there was the questions like, are you and this guy together? And I'm like, whoa, like, if I want to let you know, then at some point I will, but ain't nothing going on between me and this person. This is just a person that likes something on my page. And even if it was something going on, what's it to you? We poly, honey. Like, weird. Like, it's almost like he wanted me strictly to him, but he didn't want to be strictly to me. And it's like at some point I was able to see that and find that out. And I was like, yeah, you just, beautiful person overall, but you got some stuff with you, like we all got our stuff with us. But it was like, I did notice the lies, the deception, the manipulation. I did notice like the narcissistic tendencies and things like that. And this person got potential to possibly change and grow and, move forward from, their issues of heartbrokenness, their issues of disappointment with previous marriages and relationships and, you know, so forth and so on. He could move forward and actually, be well off, in his life if he just takes the time to heal himself and deal with, issues, even stemming from, childhood. He's just got some things that he needs to work out. And it's like once I saw that, I was like, okay, it's time to exit stage left now because at this point you realize what the issue is. This person is not really capable of loving you the way that you need to be loved. And, they don't really have the willingness either to love you the way that you want to be loved either. So it's settled. Like the jig is up. It is what it is. So I moved forward from the situation and blocked this person. Actually, I was following Spirit. Spirit's the one who actually advised me to, like, literally advised me to block this person. Blocked them from my phone, blocked them from social media, all types of stuff. And I'm just like, okay. I did what Spirit told me to do. And at some point, Spirit said, unblock them. And I'm like, okay. And though I didn't understand what the hell that was about, I did exactly what Spirit told me to do. And then it was like it's almost like it was a part of the test. It was a part of the transition because throughout this I guess if you want to call it a relationship, throughout this whole time, I've I mean it feels like I've grown 10 feet tall. And it feels like I'm just sitting on top of the world, looking at and watching everything and really gaining some type levels of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding about situations and about people and about different things, and even getting downloads as to, how to build my money up better from Spirit. So I can't really complain. Spirit hasn't led me wrong thus far, and I feel compelled at this point in time in my transformation, which it's like I'm a ace of spades, nine of spades. So when you look at those two cards, because I'm an ace of spades, nine of spades, which ace is a master card, but that automatically makes me a queen of spades. And both of those cards are death cards, which makes me a double death card. And I carry that energy with me, always have from birth on. And so, therefore, it's not necessarily a scary or a bad thing. Death brings about transformation, death brings about, endings and new beginnings. And I bring that type of energy, like death and rebirth, to any of my relationships, any friendships, my life. Like I just walk with that type of energy. So it is what it is. And it's a very peaceful, calm energy, very warrior-esque, energy. But I'm Empress and I'm High Priestess, and that's the phase. That's what I had to grow into. And in order to grow into that, there were some things that I needed to heal and remove from myself in order to grow into that state of awareness. That's why I can say at this point in time, I'm my most powerful I've ever been because all of this transformation has done nothing but increase everything, every area of life, and increase my magic and how well I'm able to perform and do it for myself and others. So I can't complain. I'm actually thankful. I'm thankful, for the experiences. I'm thankful even for the experiences that I've dealt with where my immediate family was concerned. I'm thankful for the experiences Thankful for the experiences that I experienced with my children's father. And anybody else that may have acted crazy or wronged me along the way, I'm thankful for it all because I would not be sitting here up on my throne like I am today if I didn't experience those things. You know how they say every knock is a boost? Or, you know, the demise that people plan for you is the one that eventually comes back to them. I mean, I've had people, sending destruction spells, trying to, destroy my success and swap it with their karma. I've had people come at me from this ex person, this previous person, people on their end, women, have come at me with, or attempted to come at me with beauty spells to try to diminish my beauty because they feel insecure that I'm an attractive woman and that I was even, heavily, heavily attracting him to me. They didn't really like that. So they tried to send all types of stuff towards me. And it didn't work because, like, I'm a real one. I'm a real one. And it takes a lot to get to me. You may cause like a couple of nicks and scrapes here and there, but I'm walking with spirit. And ain't, like your arm's too short to box with God. Ain't no power more powerful than divine love and light. So I don't care who you call. I don't care who you know. Ain't no nothing more powerful than divine love and light. And with me walking with spirit, the spirit is literally with me all day, every day, protecting me and my family. Like, so that's something that they didn't know. They weren't aware of. Maybe they should have checked my credentials out before they decided to throw at me. All of that was returned back to them though. And as a result, they're experiencing the karma that they thought that they were going to give to me. Whatever entity they promised, my soul for or my downfall for, now they have to answer. And now they have to, deal with that entity because it's going to come for them because they weren't able to fulfill their promise. They weren't able to give it what it needs or what they initially promised to it. And so as a result, that's something that they're going to have to deal with. And really, through divination, I found out that, you know, the same uh, feminine, excuse me, the same feminine that was throwing at me like that, like they have cursed themselves for life. And the other feminine that he was going to paying to do love binding spells on me so that I would always be going crazy over him or just be bound to him for life, like it didn't work. It may have worked to an extent on others before me, but you knew like I was a magician. You knew that I was a witch. You knew that I was spiritual. You knew that I practiced magic. Like you knew that I was a powerful being. You stated yourself. So it's like to do all those types of things, the hot and cold, the breadcrumbing, the gaslighting, all those different types of things, the lying, the deception, the manipulation, you do all that and then you do love binding spells to keep me like going crazy over you or hooked on you so that, I'm like constantly just only thinking of you and this, that, and the other. And, you try to continue on with doing that and the feminine, whoever he's gotten to do this work, has basically um, uh, decided to take her magic, what little she knows about it, and bind him to her. And he thought that she was going to do the work that he had asked her to. And then there would be, some semblance of me not being able to get away from him or leave him alone because I'm hooked on him because of all of the spell work he's doing on me and this, that, and the other. And that couldn't be further from the case. I successfully walked away. And what I did was a return to sender / obsession spell for him. And I did return to senders for them. The same obsession and craziness he wanted me to be, I sent all of his energy back to him because it doesn't belong to me. And let him see how it feels to experience that he desired for me. All of that's been sent right back to him. And as far as the feminines, the females who, in their jealous and envy, thought that they were going to come after me too, with spell work and their own hidden motives and objectives. They've had their energy returned unto them as well, and they're going to suffer greatly in this lifetime because the energy that I returned unto them was not my own; it was theirs. And so, I did return to senders on all of them. But for him, I did a return to sender / obsession because I wanted him to get back all that he initially tried to send my way so that he could see how that feels. And it doesn't feel too good at all. But more importantly, with my spell work, I speed up karma. And so basically, that's what happened. I sped their karma along to them. And that's what they're all pretty much dealing with right now at this moment in time. And it's called retribution. It's called the law of reciprocity, in which I'm a poster child for both. So, do I feel guilty about any of it? No, not one bit. I think that folks get what they deserve. And if you don't get what you deserve and you run into someone like me, you will get what you deserve. So it just is what it is either way. Um, I'm not even angry with him or upset with him. If I were to see him and he asked me if he could talk with me and apologize to me, or, if he could have a talk with me, I don't know. I may hear him out because I don't have any anger or bitterness towards him. I don't even have anger or bitterness towards the women because I know they know not what they did. They're going to learn, over time, but they know not what they do. So it is what it is. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Stay tuned for part 4. Leave your comments and your questions below. And maybe you don't have a comment or a question. Feel free to like or and subscribe to this video and share it with others who may be going through similar situations. And yeah, become a part of our royal gang. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Peace and bright blessings, guys.